Holy cat, Stuart, that's the most fantastic beaver skin hat that I've ever seen. Boy, what I wouldn't give to wear a beaver on my head like you.
Why, thank you, Steve. It truly is a splendid hat. You know, Steve, hundreds of years ago, a lot of people just like you also wanted beaver skin hats.
You don't say.
I do say.
No way.
Way.
Tell me about it.
Well, Steve, about 250 years ago, there was a war about beavers. A war which began in 1754 and was known as the French and Indian War. It all goes back to the beavers. You see, for millions of years, we beavers have been eagerly gnawing down trees, building dams, and going to large meetings. Then came the Europeans, and we went from a cuddly rodent to a natural resource.
Holy shnikes! A talking beaver? Awesome! How on earth did you beavers become a natural resource?
Well, we are the stuff that hats are made of. The Europeans couldn't live without their beaver skin hats. And to be honest, we beavers couldn't live without our beaver skins. In fact, that looks a lot like my missing cousin Alfred on Stuart's head.
The French and Indians fought a war against each other about beaver skin hats? That's just crazy talk. I always knew that the French were a little insane in the brain, but this is just madness.
No, you doofus. It wasn't the French and Indians fighting each other.
But you said it was the French and the Indians.
As I was saying, before you got all antsy in your pantsy, it wasn't the French and Indians fighting each other, but it was the French and Indians fighting the British.
Well, that's a stupid name for a war. That name makes about as much sense as naming a hockey team the Gophers.
Listen here, lame brain. Do you want to hear this history of my sweet beaver skin hat or not?
You bet your sweet beaver I do.
Alrighty then. Well, the British were busy setting up the New England, Middle, and Southern colonies all along the East Coast. The sneaky French were claiming the interior, which means the inside part of the country, in places like the Ohio River Valley, the Mississippi River Valley, and the Great Lakes region. In fact, the French claimed all the lands that stretched from the Appalachians to the Rockies. The goals were simple: to convert the Native Americans to Christianity and to catch as many beavers as they could so that they could trade their furs and make sweet hats out of them. It is a good day to be French, no? We have successfully made our way into the interior of the New World, and there are many lakes, rivers, and most importantly, beavers. Our trappers will make boatloads of money, especially because we will trade with the Algonquin and the Huron Indians. Here comes a couple now.
Hello, my frog-legged loving friend. My name is Algonquin, and this is my friend, Huron. You Frenchies have always been good friends for our people, but now we need your help.
Oui.
Anyway, but we need your help. If you'd like to continue to trade your precious metals like guns, knives, pots, and pans for our precious beaver pelts, then you need to go to war with the Iroquois. They are working for the Brits and taking our lands and our furs.
Sacre bleu! The British, the pesky British, with their bad teeth, always up in leg grill, we will destroy them. Meanwhile, back in England.
Oh, blast! The bloody Frenchies are causing quite a ruckus in our colonies. We declare war on the French here in Europe and the French in our North America.
He's on like Donkey Kong! The war between the French and British will decide which of us will control the northern and eastern parts of North America.
So let me get this straight, Stuart. Some natives, like the Iroquois, sided with the British?
Yes, sir.
And some natives, like the Huron and Algonquin, sided with the French?
You got it, Steve Izzo. So the British decided that they wanted some of the land that the French already claimed.
How selfish.
Indeed, Steve. Their mama didn't raise them right. Anyhizzle, the British built a fort in Pennsylvania, but the French and their Native American allies, the Huron and Algonquin, renamed it Fort Duquesne.
The French are real bullies. They remind me of Boris the bully who gave me wedgies every day when I was younger.
Indeed. But unlike you, just sitting back and taking your wedgies, the British weren't going to let the French pull their proverbial tighty-whities over their heads. So George Washington went riding on his pony to help defend his buddies at Fort Duquesne, but stopped when he found out the bloody French had taken it over.
If the French won, why were they so bloody?
I'm going to make you bloody with this knuckle sandwich if you don't stop interrupting me. Washington and his men decided to build a fort out of necessity, so they called it Fort Necessity.
All the smart ones become president.
Well, Sir Random, I think we did a fine job setting up this fort that we needed. Let us rest for a night.
Thank you, sir. Oops, oh my Lanta. I forgot to write my sister to wish her a happy birthday. It's already July 2nd. My mom is going to take a whipping at me when I get home.
Golly gee willikers! What was that ruckus?
Sir, the French have surrounded us, and we have very few supplies to fight back.
Basioto of our hero king, Louis XV, I order you to abandon this fort!
Okay.
Okay. I order you leave your men, and you leave now. This is the property of the French.